Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. This time we are going to do some Python programming. We have two tasks. The first is Python. The second is a history book. So we're going to use Python to process a history book. The book is in Chinese. I'm sorry. It's not converted, translated to English. But basically, Python can deal with the Unicode. So the encoding of the book, I just finished it on the Linux machine, so it should be UTF-8 encoding. And so it's very possible, completely possible, to be processed by Python because Python can deal with all kinds of Unicode. So our task is to split a history book. The first task of us is split the history book with the Python. And basically we have three subtasks. The first is we fetch the book, the online book, fetch it from internet. And we're going to use, we have options as requests, URLib, URLib2, and things like that. If we failed, because the book has been put into a GitHub repository, so if we fail to fetch the GitHub repository, a single file from the GitHub repository, we're going to have the second option is to use the subprocess package from Python and fetch the whole GitHub repository. And this is a standard way of a Git repository. You clone a repository and you find a single file from your GitHub. Because if we are using GitHub or any kind of Git repository, we have a lot of directories, resources, programming codes, all kinds of files, and for example, different programming languages put into a single repository. And also we have branches and we can reverse our editing histories. So it's a little bit different from the common concept of a single file. This is why we're going to use GitHub command line tools to access GitHub. And then the third thing is to read the second thing. We just get the file. The second thing is to reading the file, reading the book from the file, and read it into a single Python string. The third thing we are going to do is to split the string according what we want. So because it's a history book, so when we split the string, it looks like we are going to split the history. It's a stupid comparable things. And we're going to finish it with Python, okay? This is what we are going to do. The first thing first, we're going to fetch the file. Let me show you where is the file. I already get the URL address. And here, this is the raw file, and this is the GitHub file. Let me show you in a web browser. This is the raw file. Okay, return, and this is the source of the web page. So why didn't you simply use tools as wget or curl to fetch the web page? Because you can't. You are going to get a lot of HTML tags, a full disk of HTML markup tags. Okay, this is the file, and we're going to fetch the raw file. Let me show you. If we click on the raw, we get the raw file, and instead of this URL address, we're going to use the raw file address, and this is the raw file. So you already get the URL address of the file in GitHub and the raw file address. Okay, then we're going to import request and import the regular expression, because after we get a file reading to a string, and we're going to use the regular expression pattern to split the string. Okay, and this is the command. Sorry, this is the method in the request package, but I'm going to show you what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to do it outside the try except blocks. Okay, we're going to let requests get the raw GitHub file and see what's going to happen. And let me show you, this is a lot of exception. I just finished a run, and let me show you the version of the Python I'm using. It's Python version 3.7.3. Okay, show you the running results, Python a.py. Okay, we get all these kind of exceptions. Let's see what happened in the error stacks. It said error number 111, connection refused. So it means Python package request get something error from the GitHub server. Okay, during handling of the above exception, another exception occurred. Okay, we know. So you can see that in the traceback, it says connection pool line 706 in URL open. When Python try to do something like URL open, it get error. It make request, and it make validate the connection. All this kind of error traceback. And during handling of the above exception, another exception occurred. So this go on and on. Traceback. Okay, we got a lot of error, and I'm going to show you what's happened. There is a Stack Overflow thread talking about what's happening. There are error traceback is misleading. It means what we are just seeing is misleading, simply because Python package requests, it's a very good request, and a similar package we have URL2. It can finish the same job during the time when we are using Python version 2, but you just see we are using Python version 3. So URL2 is wonderful with the Python version 2, and your URL, you can use URL without 2 with Python version 3, and you can get a lot example of usage from Stack Overflow, or you can just Google it. You get a lot, many results, and basically the Stack Overflow user DJRA said there is an issue at about Python requests library at GitHub. Check it out somewhere else. That it's overcome this issue, not issue. If you are going to use Python package requests with the GitHub, you better to put it inside a try except block to catch the exceptions and do some process. If you are running it on a big scripting tasks, because you're going to get the exception, the GitHub will going to think you send them too many requests. It's not your purpose. It's something happened under hood the Python URL open or request, and packages such as requests is going to use this kind of underhood method callings, and they get the GitHub server thinking you're sending them too many requests. And I saw some people talking about you set up an option that don't check this, don't check that. But anyway, we're going to stop using Python package requests to fetch a single file from GitHub repository. Why? We have another reason. Because GitHub, inside the GitHub repository, have many files and directories and a lot of programming languages and code. There is a thing different from a single file, get a single file from internet. The thing is, inside the GitHub repository, we have a lot of directories and files. It's not a single file, the first. And the second, we have a lot of editing history and a lot of branches. We have a lot of branches inside together with the GitHub or Git repository. So all these branches make the file a little bit different because along with each single branch, you are going to get a different version of a file, and you get different editing history about the file. You might have a different editing history and different results, different file. So this is why when we are using Git repository, we clone it. We check out the branch, and after this, we check out the file. So we are going to try another way. We are going to use the Git command to fetch or to clone the repository and check out the branch. Basically, we don't need to check out branch because it's my GitHub repository. I know that I'm working on the master branch, so we don't need to check. So basically, we just demoed the Python package request and simply find out a lot of error message, and I tell you why and how and what's happened and what we are going to do during the next steps. If I mentioned it, we have 3 tasks. We are going to use Python to process a Chinese history book. It's in Chinese, a little bit. I just finished the book. It's still in Chinese. Yes, I want to convert it, translate it into English, but Python can deal with the Unicode. So all kind of language Python can deal with. And the first thing is we're going to get the book from internet. The second thing is we're going to check out the file and read the whole book into a Python string. And it's going to be UTF-8 encoding, it's Unicode. And the third thing is we're going to split the string according what we want. So because the string is a whole history book, so basically we are going to split a string as split the history with the Python regular expression and cut it into about over 30 pieces, like cutting the history into over 30 pieces, okay? And basically we just showed the first small tasks. It's to get results by the Python package request, and you see that we get a lot of error message. This error message, we found out why, because Python request package not very good in recent with the GitHub server, and we know the better way to do it is to, let me show you, use git command. Okay, I'm going to show you how to use git command to finish the job, of course, with Python. After a while. Thank you.
เอามาเช้ากันหน่อยเพราะว่าหลับประมาณเลย